Hello. Today I am doing a combined chart of Benito Mussolini and Donald Trump. I am doing this in this combination because I'm finding there are some parallels that I can draw. There are obviously other people who feel this because there's been handwriting analysis done of Mussolini and Trump, and they bear great resemblance to each other. So I'm not an originalist in this sense. I am bringing to you something that really, to be honest with you, someone else has already brought to you. I am going to bring it to you in my own way. So I will say that, and to the people who have done the work around this, I'm very grateful. And that's, with that being said. Okay, Mussolini was born July 29th, 1883 in Predapio, Italy. I used a birth time of 12 noon, and it was interesting. It's a very interesting chart. He was the prime minister of Italy for 21 years. His reign of terror was from 1922 to 1943. He was the fascist party. He led military to victories. He wanted an empire that was akin to Caesar and Rome. Okay, so and he was the firstborn to a blacksmith, and he was known as a man of the people. He was raised by his parents, who were poor for the most part. His father was an authoritarian who spent a lot of time in bars. His mother was a school teacher, and they lived in 2 crowded rooms. There were 3 siblings and obviously 2 adults, so 5 people living in a 2-room, 2nd floor apartment. Okay, he was unruly as a child. He was aggressive and difficult, and when he was 19 years old, he left for Switzerland. And he had a lot of charisma, which I think is gonna probably be that he has a lot of fire in his energy. And in addition to that, why I chose to do a composite on this issue is that he also, very much like Trump, was a revolutionary. He used propaganda repeatedly, calling for vengeance, war, and arrest against his opponents. Anyone who challenged him in any way, or challenged his ego, he wanted vengeance, okay? And his reign of power was mainly perpetrated upon the middle class, as he referred to them as the liberals, okay? And, but he did little to combat lawlessness. He wanted nationalism, okay? He wanted everyone throughout the world to look and feel the same to him. So in 1922, October 31st, on Halloween, okay, he became prime minister, and he maintained his power largely through fraudulent behavior. He has a daddy complex, and at the time, people wanted someone who was an authoritarian. They needed order, and so they thought that this person who was born out of the man of the people would be just what they needed. Somehow he not only was able to survive the lowliness of being a pauper, but he was able to thrive and achieve as a revolutionary, okay? And he transformed and reinvigorated. He divided. And largely it was all done on propaganda, okay? He lied a lot. Little was done for the people during his reign and the economy. He was a xenophobe, and he had problems with arrogance. He had kind of a shadow desire to be, he competed in some regards with Hitler. He wanted what Hitler had, okay? So, and in 1938, a law was passed called the anti-Semitic laws, harming the Jewish people, making way for their rounding up and taken to concentration camps through Italy. he felt small, I believe. He had some kind of inferiority complex comparing himself to Hitler. And at that point, when this started to become much like Trump today, an issue he just can't let go, he began to lose his power, okay? And he wanted Hitler to pay for his exaggerated issues and support. But on July 24th, 1943, his reign was over. He collapsed. He was imprisoned after a meeting with his king, okay? Because he was the prime minister, he wasn't the king. And I think that might have been at the core of why he felt so jealous of Hitler, because really probably from his perspective, that Hitler looked like the king, and he was going to be punished by the king. So what happens is Hitler, the Germans, they come in and they break him free. And then they continue to divide the people of Italy. And it eventually led to such aggravation that on April 28th, 1945, Mussolini was shot in the head, and he was hung outside, upside down, head down, okay? And to celebrate the downfall of his party, the people came to the square, okay, at the Piazza Loreto, Milan. So that's basically where I'm starting. And as I've said, that there's been handwriting comparisons done, and in that sense, this isn't a brand new concept I'm bringing, but I'm drawing some parallels. And the natal charts, the progress chart and the natal charts bring some really interesting parallels as well. So with that, we will begin our reading. I will put the laptop down. Okay, I have the laptop down, and here is the very complex natal chart. The way I did this is it's got 4 locations. The inner natal wheel is Donald Trump, and the outer 2 are Mussolini, and the in-between is just basically extra space for me to see the differences. So with that, we will begin, and I'm going to use the Spellcaster deck for this reading. And let me get some things cleared out. Some of my beautiful little things that I have here. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and lay the cards out and select 12 for this reading. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, so let's just get them all collected back up and see what we have underneath. All right, and the base of our pack is the star. Okay, yes, we are kind of talking about the USA, and we are also talking about shadow history in lots of regards. So interesting, that's our first card. So let's go ahead and begin the reading. And what we have is we start out, oh, wrong chart. That will not do. Taking that away, folks. All right, here we go. Here is the right chart, and let's see here if I can get all that in there. I'm putting the laptop up a little bit, and you can see down below all the legends and things that basically won't mean a lot for you at this point. But this is the comparison chart of Donald Trump and Benito Mussolini. Okay. And I've heard other readers call Trump Mango Mussolini. So, you know, basically there's some energy there. And where does Mussolini and and Trump share energy. Well, in the first house, Mussolini gets Leo, I am, and he gets Uranus. I am a revolutionary, and he also has his sun in the outer or in the inner wheel. So how his inner emotions, he says, I am the revolution, and that is his moon. That's how he feels nurtured and loved. And that, you know, obviously we've talked about Trump having an opposition in that regard. So there is a familiarity, and what he gets is the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, looking to come in and change something, wanting something new. Is it a financial interest? Well, most likely. You know, I think money drives all of us in some way or another. And this is in the house of self, okay? And basically, is Mussolini's energy, is Trump's energy the reincarnation of Mussolini? Well, we know that he says, I am a revolutionary man, and that is how I receive my nurturance. And Trump says, I'm aggressive, okay? Okay, and in that sense, both were similar in that it was about the coin. It was about largely the middle class. And that's, you know, it's a very uncomfortable situation because I very squarely sit in this category. And, you know, and I have to say, I've been sitting and watching this unfold, and I'm feeling like, you know, what the heck? How are we supposed to manage? You know, this is getting ridiculous. Okay, you know, am I going to have a job? Am I not going to have a job? What's going on? You know, how do I take care of my responsibilities? Okay, and then he has his North Node in Libra, and he has his Jupiter in Libra in the house of financial. Okay, so yes, karmically, his interest was financial. And what does Trump have? Well, he has Jupiter in Capricorn, not Capricorn, Libra, excuse me. Same as Mussolini, just a tiny bit different configuration. And he has Neptune. This is Trump. He has Neptune in Capricorn. Well, North Node and Jupiter for Benito Mussolini, and we get the Fool. That yes, they were looking to take us on a new journey, and it largely involved probably whoever their donors were, whoever their supporters were. They thought they had a way forward. And, you know, I believe in reincarnation, and I believe that I'm going to see synergistically throughout this chart an echo of the energy throughout. So in any natal reading, you know, it needs to have a repeated theme, or it's really not, you're not really getting the essence of it. And because I can't sit down and interview Mussolini because he's deceased, and I wouldn't want to sit down and interview Trump because he doesn't tell the truth about things. This is, you know, this is my best guess, and it is for entertainment purposes only. And I do want to say that, you know, this is reading a chart in some regards is an art, and so it is my art form. So I will just leave it at that, okay? And so in the second house, he has the Fool, the new journey, okay? In the house of information, that is in Scorpio. He was looking, and that is ruled by Mercury. He was looking, both he and Trump were looking to create something intellectual with information. So they use words, essentially, to create aggravation, okay? And that is both of them. In the fourth house of roots, ruled by the moon, basically he's got, Trump has, he's got Black Moon Lilith, which means his energy, it's in Capricorn. He came in to be cold to the family. He came in to be dark. And Mussolini, his energy in this house is non-existent. He doesn't have any. So let's go ahead and see what they get. Yes, you know, they were looking to recreate what they thought was the happy family. This dysfunctional, narcissistic energy is going to come in and tell us what the happy family looks like. And I do think that that has left a lot of us feeling like, no, thank you. And, you know, that's why Trump was a one-term president, because, you know, why would we vote against our self-interests? And, you know, obviously in Italy, back in the time that Mussolini had his reign of terror, we had a different system. And at this point, you know, what happened to Mussolini, the way he treated the people, he ended up imprisoned. Okay, so mess with the happy family and see what happens. Okay, that could be a problem. Okay, and in the house of I am, he has Leo in Capricorn. So I am cold. This is Mussolini. I view myself as beautifully cold, and I have a lot of secrets, and I'm going to put this drama on for all of you to see. Now, how does that compare to Trump? Well, pretty dang good. We have the Ten of Wands. You know, these guys deciding that we're going to have revolution, and if they're not one and the same, I just wouldn't be surprised. You know, I realize that it's a big stretch for people to. Okay, something went wrong right here on the carrying the heavy load of career. So I duly note this, and what I was saying is that they basically compare to each other, and the video then continues on. My past life information is consistent with what I would think would be who I am. And so, yes, we do, and I think that this card says that, you know, this is a continuation of the load that they carry through the I am, the great I am. And the sixth house of career, Mussolini had limits and wanted expansion, very much like what I saw with Jared Kushner's chart. And he has, in his career, he's got, what is this? In Aquarius, he's got Venus, okay, in Aquarius. He wants things in his career to look pretty. So he goes out and he expands. Excuse me, I'm getting this wrong. Okay, he goes out and he expands. This is Mussolini. This is this conjunction of Jupiter, Saturn conjunction, and they're tightly conjunct, okay? And Trump gets Venus in Aquarius. He wants, and that's ruled by Mercury, he wants the collective to enter into some process that has to do with his thinking, and he shares that with Mussolini. And they get the Nine of Wands. Notice the pentagram on the bottom, that all points are connected. Is he a reincarnated, career-seeking, revolutionary character? Yes, indeed. They share that. They do. And in the seventh house of partnerships, Mussolini was all about the collective coming together with him and taking off and going to war. Trump's North Node is in Pisces. And what does he want? Ruled by Venus. He wants partnerships to look and feel a certain way, in a revolutionary way. And what is he getting for that energy? He gets judgment. That is a no-go, sir. Okay. In the eighth house of death, birth, okay, what did Mr. Mussolini have? He had, in his inner, he has Sun in Aries, okay, and he had I am survival. I am the reason for this movement, and it is directly across from financial, which is saying, I am the movement that will limit you financially for my own personal contract or gain. And does that not sound like Trump? And where are we? We are in the sun. It is being illuminated. We're done. We're done. And, you know, is Trump Mussolini? Boy, the energy sure does resonate with me. But, you know, I'm just taking my shot at it. And if I'm right, I'm right. I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So, okay, in the ninth house of foreign, okay, how they connect up again is that in the outer, Mussolini he wanted things, when you harmed him, okay, he had a way of going internal and suffering that insult via his moon and Saturn, and coming back out via his Pluto with retaliation. He has Mars, Pluto, Moon, Saturn, just all right there conjunct with each other in his outer house. That would be Mussolini. And we know that Trump and his foreign connections are deep. This is in the house of foreign. We get the Chariot. Yes, they were looking to transform their styles. They were looking for a style. And what I think I've kind of concluded is that people who have been raised in dysfunctional, codependent homes aren't really suitable to be leaders. I realize that's rather judgmental of me, and that I'm saying something that it maybe isn't really fair, but I say it from the deepest of respect for all of us. I myself came from a very dysfunctional home, and I have some dysfunctional ways to go with that. So I speak in the most humblest of terms. We can't afford to have a leader of our country be a petulant 2-year-old, okay? And so that is in the house of foreign. In the house of government, okay, how do they line up? Now, this is where it truly gets interesting. They both have their north nodes in the house of government, so they came to life to perform some kind of action to government, and both of them have this in Gemini, in the 10th house of government, where there are limitations, and somehow these Jose's are able to skirt these limitations, okay? And we get the King of Cups because they tell us what we want to hear, okay? They lied to us. And now the King of Cups is generally thought of as a loving king, and he is. But this card embodies the utter opposite of what they had. So the King of Cups, there it is, upside down. Now, I don't read reversals, but that one there, I made it. So, okay, in the 11th house of secrets and occult, again, they share some energy. They both have Saturn. They both have conjunctions in this regard. Conjunction for Mussolini was in the outer was Sun Mercury. I am complicated and I'm going to do things in the house of secrets. And then in the inner, he's got to be aggressive on his ascendant and his limitations. And as a result of this particular energy, he spent some time in prison. He would encounter this in that house of secrets and occult, and he would get himself arrested. For Trump, he's got the Saturn-Venus conjunction. I am limited in the house of secrets and occult. And I am revolutionary. And what does he get? He gets the 5 of Pentacles. I am divisionary when it comes to money. I am going to create division. And what did he just recently do? Well, the stimulus thing. No, we're not going to sign that that $600 check. I want it to be $2,000. That was utterly divisionary. He only did that for show, not because he thought that $2,000 was fair. Of course, $2,000 is only really truly the beginning of what fair might even begin to look like. But again, if this is a reincarnated Mussolini, would he choose for the people or would he choose for his own pocket? And I think that this card says he would choose division and for his own pocket and leave us out in the cold. And I think we just saw that because he let things expire for people. Trump did. He let some things go as a punishment to the people for not continuing to allow him to grift us and use us inappropriately like Mussolini did. And Mussolini ended up very dead in the square because of it. So, you know, I would say to Trump, he's probably fortunate that we only had 4 years that we had to build up our anger. So in the 12th house of the unseen, we have in Mussolini's outer, or excuse me, his inner, he has Pluto. Trump has Pluto in the unseen, secrets, Queen of Cups. Now this is twice we've seen this cup energy, this watery energy in the house of Neptune. And in some ways that's kind of disturbing because I think of the cups as being loving relationships, but apparently they're not as loving as I thought. So I'll just turn that card upside down. But they both have Pluto in the house of unseen. Pluto is going to be your secrets, the things that you don't want others to be aware of, things that you know, and they can be good, they can be bad. It's not necessarily that way, but it is the unseen. And then what do we get as the foundation? Obviously, you've already seen this card, the star card. What is this all about? Well, this is about action. Yes, they were looking to take action, but is Mussolini and Trump one in the same? Well, they both like to thief from us, for sure. They both shared that particular energy. And there's the Hermit. Yes, one went into retreat, the other one arrived. So yes, it's very possible that we're talking about reincarnated energy. And how I arrived at that was looking at the natal charts and just more or less the repeated patterning. I'm still a student of astrology, and move my laptop back. I have some more to learn. So, but I study astrology from the perspective of the psychological foundation we stand on. Who are we? What's our psyche? How do we function? And like I said, I'm a firm believer in reincarnation, and I believe there are some ways that can become obvious in a natal chart. And so with that, please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join myself and my lovely co-reader, Pearl Rowland, over on www.twiggy.com. And also, if you would like a reading, go look around. I have astrology services and I have tarot services. So go take a look around. We do numerology, tarot, and astrology. And with that, I thank you for joining me here today.